In the unforgiving world of mixed martial arts, MMA, where physical prowess meets psychological warfare, the mind often determines victory long before the cage door closes. The octagon is not just a battleground for fists and feet. It is a theater of mental fortitude, where fighters like Conor McGregor, Khamzat Chimaev, and Cody Garbrandt have showcased the power of psychological dominance, or fallen victim to its absence. This exploration delves into the mental dynamics that shape MMA, highlighting iconic moments and fighters who have defined the sport through their mental triumphs and defeats, offering a vivid account of resilience, strategy, and the human spirit under pressure. Conor McGregor, the master of mind games. In his prime, Conor McGregor was a phenomenon, not just for his explosive fighting style, but for his unparalleled ability to dismantle opponents psychologically. At featherweight, McGregor was a force of nature, radiating confidence that bordered on arrogance. His 2014 clash with Dustin Poirier at UFC 178 exemplified this. Poirier, then a rising star ranked 5th in the division, was no novice, yet McGregor reduced him to a footnote in his ascent. Through relentless trash-talking and calculated provocations, McGregor infiltrated Poirier's psyche, unsettling him before the fight began. In the lead-up, McGregor's taunts were surgical. He mocked Poirier's demeanor, questioned his resilience, and predicted a first-round knockout with eerie precision. "I'm going to hurt you, Dustin," he declared, his words laced with certainty. By the time they stepped into the octagon, Poirier appeared rattled, his focus compromised. McGregor capitalized, landing a crisp left hand that dropped Poirier in under 2 minutes. The victory was as much mental as physical, a testament to McGregor's ability to weaponize psychology. "You can call me Mystic Mac because I foresee these outcomes," he boasted post-fight, cementing his reputation as a mental predator. Yet McGregor's story is not one of unbroken dominance. His later career, marked by distractions and losses, revealed the fragility of even the strongest minds. The same man who once broke Poirier was himself broken in their 2021 trilogy, where Poirier's composure and adaptability prevailed. McGregor's journey underscores a universal truth in MMA. Mental strength is not permanent. It must be nurtured and defended. Khamzat Chimaev, the Intimidator. Few fighters have inspired fear like Khamzat Chimaev. Bursting onto the UFC scene in 2020, Chimaev's meteoric rise was fueled by his ferocious style and an aura of invincibility. His back-to-back wins within 10 days on Fight Island set the MMA world ablaze, with knockouts and submissions that left opponents dazed. But it was his psychological dominance that truly set him apart. Chimaev didn't just fight. He overwhelmed, breaking his opponents well before physical damage took hold. His 2020 bout against Gerald Meerschaert, a seasoned middleweight with a record for submissions, showcased this. Meerschaert, brimming with confidence, vowed to derail the Chimaev hype train. "Everything he excels at, I can turn into a disadvantage," he claimed, projecting defiance. Yet, as the fight neared, subtle signs of doubt emerged. Meerschaert's stiff posture and forced bravado betrayed his unease. Chimaev, sensing weakness, pounced. Within 17 seconds, a single, devastating right hand sent Meerschaert crashing to the canvas, unconscious. The fight was over before it began, a stark reminder of Chimaev's ability to intimidate. Chimaev's approach is rooted in self-belief. "I'm not Khabib, I'm Khamzat," he declared, emphasizing his versatility. His sparse fight schedule in recent years, hampered by health issues, has done little to diminish his aura. When he steps into the octagon, opponents face not just a fighter, but a psychological storm, one that forces them to confront their own fears. Cody Garbrandt, a tale of loyalty and loss. Cody Garbrandt's journey in the UFC is a poignant study in how emotions can elevate or destroy a fighter. In 2016, Garbrandt was the bantamweight division's golden boy, an undefeated prodigy who dethroned Dominic Cruz with a masterful performance at UFC 207. His defensive brilliance and unrelenting pace left Cruz, a legend, bewildered. At 25, Garbrandt seemed destined for a long reign, his confidence palpable. "This is everything I've envisioned," he said, his eyes gleaming with ambition. But beneath the surface, a storm was brewing. Garbrandt's rivalry with TJ Dillashaw, his former teammate at Team Alpha Male, was deeply personal. Dillashaw's departure from the gym, perceived as a betrayal, ignited a feud that consumed Garbrandt. TJ's a sneaky character, in it for his own gain. Garbrandt fumed, his loyalty to his team fueling his anger. The build-up to their 2017 title fight at UFC 217 was a cauldron of drama, with Garbrandt vowing to punish Dillashaw for his disloyalty. In the octagon, however, Garbrandt's emotions betrayed him. His aggression, once a strength, became reckless. Dillashaw, composed and precise, capitalized on Garbrandt's fury, knocking him out in the second round. The loss shattered Garbrandt's invincibility. Subsequent defeats piled on, and the once vibrant champion struggled to reclaim his form. "That's just life. It happens," he later reflected, acknowledging the toll of his emotional unraveling. Garbrandt's story is a cautionary tale. In MMA, unchecked emotions can be as devastating as any strike. Kamaru Usman, the composed conqueror. Kamaru Usman's reign as welterweight champion was a masterclass in mental resilience. Often criticized for his methodical style, Usman proved his detractors wrong with a blend of intensity and composure. His 2021 rematch with Gilbert Burns at UFC 258 was a defining moment. Burns, a knockout artist with elite grappling, posed a significant threat. He had earned his title shot by dismantling the division, and many believe his power could topple Usman. The fight began with a shock. Burns dropped Usman early, rattling the champion. But Usman's response was telling. He regrouped, his face a mask of focus, and methodically dismantled Burns over 3 rounds. Each jab, each takedown chipped away at Burns' confidence until the Brazilian was a shadow of himself. Usman's knockout victory was not just a physical triumph, but a psychological one, as he turned Burns' early success into despair. "We're going to war," Usman had promised, and he delivered with surgical precision. Usman's ability to remain unshaken under pressure set him apart. Even when facing criticism for his less-than-thrilling fights, such as his foot-stomp-heavy win over Jorge Masvidal, Usman stayed focused. His post-fight declaration after beating Burns, a defiant shout to the camera, became a symbol of his mental strength. Usman's reign may have ended, but his legacy as a composed conqueror endures. Robbie Lawler versus Rory MacDonald, the fight that broke a spirit. Few fights capture the brutal intersection of physical and mental warfare like Robbie Lawler's 2015 rematch with Rory MacDonald at UFC 189. The co-main event of the McGregor-Mendez card, this welterweight title clash was a bloodbath that left an indelible mark on MMA history. Lawler, a resurgent veteran, faced MacDonald, the calculated protege of Georges St-Pierre, in a fight that transcended strategy. From the opening bell, the bout was visceral. Lawler, embodying primal ferocity, traded blows with MacDonald, who countered with precision. By the 4th round, both men were battered, their faces swollen and bloodied. MacDonald's corner urged him on, "Just 5 more minutes and you'll be champion," but his body was failing. At 25, MacDonald was confronting the limits of human endurance. In the 5th round, a final, crushing strike from Lawler sent MacDonald crumpling to the canvas, his spirit broken. MacDonald never tapped out. His body simply gave up. "If I inflicted pain, I was aiming to take his very essence," Lawler later said, capturing the fight's intensity. MacDonald went on to win a Bellator title, but the spark that once defined him was gone. The octagon at UFC 189 claimed a piece of his soul, a stark reminder of MMA's psychological toll. The broader lesson, mental fortitude in MMA. The stories of McGregor, Chimaev, Garbrandt, Usman, and Lawler MacDonald illuminate a central truth. In MMA, the mind is as critical as the body. Fighters who master their emotions, whether through intimidation, composure, or resilience, often emerge victorious. Those who falter, consumed by doubt, anger, or fear, risk defeat before the first punch is thrown. Sean Brady's recent upset over Leon Edwards further underscores this. Edwards, a former champion, crumbled under pressure, his mental fragility exposed. Yet, such moments are not unique. Poirier, Garbrandt, and MacDonald all faced similar reckonings, only to emerge wiser, if not always victorious. MMA is a mirror, reflecting the strength and vulnerability of the human psyche. As fans, we marvel at knockouts and submissions, but the true drama lies in the silent battles fought within. The octagon tests not just skill, but character, forcing fighters to confront their deepest fears. For every McGregor who rises through mind games, there's a Garbrandt undone by emotion, a MacDonald broken by unrelenting pressure. These stories remind us that MMA is more than a sport. It is a crucible of the human spirit, where mental fortitude can forge legends or shatter dreams. What lies ahead for these fighters, and for the next generation, remains uncertain. Will Chimaev's aura endure? Can Garbrandt reclaim his fire? The answers lie in the octagon, where the mind will always hold the key.